Well, let's get started, shall we? Welcome, everyone, to our 45-minute Vinyasa in the park. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah. So tomorrow, I said to Karen just about an hour ago, I said, so it's Friday again tomorrow. Does anybody else have that experience? It just seems like it's always Friday. It's very, very weird. Anyway.
Great, isn't it?
I guess. Well, it's a beautiful day, just gorgeous. Temperature is really kind of just right, sort of that Goldilocks place for temperature. And cloudless sky, not very much wind. So I feel really lucky to be out here today. Let's take a few moments, allow ourselves to become completely present on our mats. You can let your eyes close down if that feels good. And just begin to follow your breath as it flows in and out. Maybe let your breath deepen a little bit, so that perhaps you're breathing in and out for 6 counts, maybe even 7, if you can do that without straining. So don't take it to the place where you're forcing it. But if you can allow it to happen with that long a breath, then go ahead and do that. Let's find just 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Good. Bring your hands to your knees now, palms facing down. Sit up nice and tall, drawing the navel in as you inhale. And then look to the right, and then to the left, and then back to the right, and again to the left. Let's do it one more time on each side, looking right, and then over the left shoulder, and then bring it back to center. Inhale, lift your chin up, and as you exhale, bring your chin to your chest. Keep drawing your navel in, and again, lift the chin high, and bring the chin to the chest. One more time, inhale, lifting the chin, and bring the chin to the chest. Now draw the navel in, bring your forehead down towards the mat, bending the elbows. Press through the palms of the hands, rise back up. Now lift your chin, pull your shoulder blades a little bit together on the back, and then again, chin to chest, round the spine, draw the navel in, and bring the forehead down. Maybe feel a little stretch in the low back. Inhale, come back up. On an inhale, lift your chin high the last time. And then chin to chest, draw the navel in, round the spine, and then rise all the way back up. Reach the arms up and overhead, and take a hold of your left wrist with your right hand. Now, pull the left wrist up and over until you feel a stretch on the left side body. And on an inhale, rise back up. Press through the palm of the left hand. Lift your gaze up so you're looking towards the sky. Press through the palm even more, really lengthening. And then level your chin and switch your grip. So left hand on right wrist. Now pull the right wrist over. Stay grounded in the right sitting bone. And then inhale, rise back up. Press through the right palm, pressing the palm towards the sky, and lift your chin. Look towards the hand. And level the chin. Release the hands, bring them out. Then take a twist to the left. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Move a little bit more deeply into the twist, just marginally, just a little bit. And do that again, deep breath in and twist, and then let it go. Flow right over to the other side. We'll do 2 on this side. Breathe in and exhale into the twist. And 1 more time, breathe in. And a big exhale into the twist, and let it go. Bring it back to center. Reach the arms high, and then out to a T. Bring the right hand down, reach the left hand over, bend the left elbow so the back of the hand comes to the head, or the palm comes to the back of the head, and then reach through that left elbow as much as you can, really stretching the elbow. At the same time, press down on your sitting bone, that left sitting bone. Now inhale, slowly rise. The core engages as you come up. And bring the left hand down. We're going to do the same thing on the second side. So bring the palm to the back of the head, open the right elbow up, ground into the right sitting bone as you pull the right elbow. So many things to do, isn't it? Pull that right elbow off to the left. And then inhale, engage the core as you come back up. And let's just flow from side to side, just a couple of times on each side. Just working out any little kinks that you feel in the side body. And stretching. And then bring it all back to center. Once you're there, come to a reclining posture on the elbows. So the elbows are below the knees. And then from there, bend your right knee so the knee is more or less over the hip, and then straighten the right leg. Press through the right heel, and then let the foot drop down. The knee bends. And again. And one more time. Straightening. Now let the foot drop down, and let the knee move off to the left. And then straighten the leg as the knee comes forward, and then across the body, knee bends, and then bring the knee towards the left shoulder and go around again. We're just going to go around 3 times, one direction only. And then finish with the knee right over the hip again. Straighten the leg a little bit, not too much, and then rotate the foot at the ankle. You can go around a couple of times one direction, and then maybe a couple times back the other. And then just let that left heel float down to the mat. Feel the gluteal muscles engage as you do that. Bend the right knee now. Straighten the right leg. And let it bend. And straighten. And bend. And one more time. Straighten. And bend. Now bring the knee off to the right. Knee is bent. And now straighten the leg so the knee moves away. And then bend the knee and bring it off to the left and then towards the right shoulder. Same thing we did on the other side. We're just going to go around with very fluid movement here, about 3 times, just going one direction. And then finish with the knee back right over the hip and straighten the leg, and then rotate the foot at the ankle. A few times one direction and back a few times the other. And then let the foot float all the way down. And bring yourself up to a seat. Once you're seated, let's roll over the knees and come to table pose. We're going to open up the hips a little bit more. We just did that to some extent, but we're going to try and open them even more this time. So pick the left knee up. See if you can bring the left knee so it's level with that left hip. And then press back through the right heel. Rotate the toes so they point down now. Leg is straight. Bend the right knee and bring it forward towards the chin, maybe touching the chin with the knee, and then press straight back through the right heel. Rotate the toes again so they point to the right. Bend the right knee and bring it forward, touching the right shoulder if you can. Press back through the right heel. Rotate the toes so they point down. Bend the knee and bring it forward towards the chin. Press the hands into the mat and press straight back. Rotate the toes to the right, to the left. Bend the knee, bring it forward. And then press straight back. This is the last time. Toes point down. Now bring the knee forward, touch the chin, and then bring the knee down. We've come to table pose now. Press the hips to the right. Really stretch that out. Keep pressing. And then over to the left and stretch it out. And twice more. To the right and to the left. And to the right, and to the left. This is the last time. And bring it back to center. Now press back through the right heel. Toe points down. Or toes point down on that right foot. Yeah, well, toe and toes. Yeah. Now rotate the toes so they point to the right. Bend the right knee. Keep it as high as you can. Bring it forward. Maybe touch the shoulder. And then press straight back, straightening the leg. Now rotate the toes so they point down. Bend the right knee and bring it forward, touching the chin. Now press the right heel straight back. Rotate the toes so they point to the right. Bend the right knee, bring it forward. Keep the knee high, and then press it straight back. Now toes rotate down. Bend the knee, bring it forward, touch the chin. And press back one more time through. Toes point to the right. Bring the right knee forward, touching the shoulder if you can. And then press back, toes rotate down, bring the knee forward, touch the chin, and press it straight back. Now bring the right knee down so it meets the left knee. Back to table pose. Take a breath in table, maybe 2. Feel the spine lengthening. Feel your head reaching forward. Tailbone is pressing back towards the back of your mat. Now, tuck your toes and lift your hips into our very first downward facing dog. And I want you to make an effort to press your hands into the mat, like you're trying to press the hands into the earth under your mat. At the same time, bend your knees just a little bit, a micro bend in the knees. And then lengthen the spine by pressing the hands into the mat even more and reaching the tailbone up and back. Your knees can bend quite a bit here. So don't be afraid to bend the knees quite a bit. We're working on lengthening the spine. Now start to straighten the legs and come up on the toes. Keep the spine long as you come up on the toes. Take a big inhale, and on the exhale, press the heels down towards the mat. Do that twice more. Inhale up on the toes, and exhale, press the heels down. One more time. Inhale, and exhale the heels down. Now on an inhale, reach your right leg up, and step it all the way forward so the foot ends up between the hand. And let the left foot follow now into standing forward fold. So standing forward fold at the front of the mat. Take opposite elbows and see if you can bring your weight forward into the front of the feet a little bit so that you feel like your heels are beginning to float above the mat. Now press the elbows down towards the big toes and then bend the knees just a little bit. Now release the hands and draw the navel up towards the spine. Keep your chin on chest as you rise. Once you're up, let your arms float high, and then exhale and bring the hands to heart center. On an inhale, reach up and back. Lift your chin, little back bend. Weight comes into the front of the feet, and then fold all the way forward. Come to a half lift, and exhale the hands all the way down to the mat. Now, keep your right foot forward, step your left foot back into runner's lunge, and step the right foot back to meet the left foot in plank pose. Pause there and take a breath. On the exhale, bring your knees to the mat, pick the feet up off the mat, and then bring your chin and your chest down, touch the mat with chin and chest, and inchworm your way into a cobra pose. In cobra pose, the pubic bone is pressing down, the elbows are tucked in nice and close, and then release. All the way down. Now tuck your toes, push to plank, and downward facing dog. Stretch it out again, pressing the hands into the mat, reaching the tailbone up and back. On an inhale, reach your left leg high now. And then step the left foot forward so it comes between the hands. Second or third effort if you need to. Now step the right foot forward so it meets the left foot. Standing forward fold. Opposite elbows, second time. Press the elbows down towards the mat, towards your toes. Let your head drop down. Remember to release the neck muscles. Now release the arms. And arms out to a T. Weight still in the front of the feet and rise. Nice and slow coming up. And then let your arms float high. Look up. Palms together and to heart center. Good job. Inhale up and back again. Nice little back bend. And fold all the way forward. Come to a half lift. And hands come all the way down to the mat. Left foot stays forward this time. Right foot steps back into runner's lunge. Press back on the right heel. And then step the left foot back into plank pose. Take a breath. On the exhale, bring the knees to the mat. Chest and chin follow it into a cobra pose. This is our second cobra pose. Take a breath in cobra and then release. Now tuck your toes, push to plank, and the hips are high into downward facing dog. Stretch it out, this time maybe pressing the heels down towards the mat, feeling the stretch in the back of the legs, maybe even into the back of the knees. On an inhale, lift the left leg up, and then step the left foot all the way forward, bringing it between the hands, and then the right foot's going to follow, standing forward fold. Let your head drop down. Now arms come out to a T. With the palms facing down, press into the front of the feet and rise. Nice and slow. Reverse swan dive coming up. Lots of core engagement. Arms reach high. And hands to heart center. Whew. 3 breaths. You can let your eyes close down if that feels good. And breathe. Breathe in this beautiful, beautiful day that we've been given. Maybe we earned it, I don't know. Release the hands now. Reach them up and then out to a T. Swan dive to a forward fold. Bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Step or jump back to plank pose. Take a breath, and on the exhale, flow through a vinyasa. Come to upward facing dog with the knees off the mat if you can. Tops of the feet are pressing down. Toes are pointing straight back. On the exhale, tuck your toes and come to downward facing dog. Press the heels down towards the mat again. On an inhale, right leg rises. Lift the right leg high and step it forward, bringing it between the hands. Bring the left knee to the mat now and rise to a low crescent lunge. Arms reach high in our low crescent lunge. Press the right knee forward a little bit more. Now bring the arms out to a T and take a twist. Left elbow to right knee, palms join together, the right elbow reaches high. Take a breath. And then come out the way we came in. Reach the right hand back. Left hand reaches forward so the palms are pointing to the right. And then come back to center. Reach the arms up and exhale the hands down to the mat. Tuck the toes, bring the left knee off the mat and step your right foot back. Plank pose. We've been here before. Flow through a vinyasa. Upward facing dog. And when you're ready, downward facing dog. Stretch it out again. Feel the heels pressing down towards the mat. So your heels may not land on the mat, or they may, but that's where they're moving towards. On an inhale, lift the left leg up. Remember to press the right heel down as you do that, and then step the left foot forward so it comes between the hands. Bring the right knee to the mat and untuck the toes on the right foot. Now press into the left foot and come all the way back up. Low crescent lunge. Left knee presses forward. Arms to a T. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, take your twist to the left. Bring the elbow to the knee and join the palms together. If you're feeling a little unsteady in the pose, heel toe your left foot to the left a little bit more. And that should give you a bit more stability. Let's come out the way we came in. Left hand reaches back to start. Right hand reaches forward so the palms are pointing to the left. And then bring it back to center. Arms are high and hands come down on either side of the left foot. Tuck the toes and bring the right knee off the mat. We've come back to runner's lunge. Now step that right foot forward into a standing forward fold. Let your head drop down. The knees can bend a little bit. Let the head get even heavier. 2 more breaths. And 1 more. Now arms out to a T, reverse swan dive as you rise. Beautiful reverse swan dive coming up. And then as you exhale, bend the knees, and let's come to chair pose. Good job. Can you bring the weight back in the heels a little bit more and bring your feet more or less parallel to one another. Now straighten the legs and a beautiful swan dive. Come to a half lift with the hands at the top of the shins. And then exhale, let your head drop all the way down. Bring the hands to the mat and step your left foot back, keeping the right foot forward between the hands. So nice long runner's lunge. From right, just an inch or 2. And then rise to a high crescent lunge. The right knee is bent about 90 degrees. If you feel unsteady, a wider stance will help you out. So maybe heel toe the left foot over to the left, or actually scoot the left foot over to the left a little bit, or heel toe the right foot over to the right just a bit more. Yeah. And if all that fails, you can bring the back heel down. So I want you to feel steadiness in the pose, whatever it looks like for you. Now, reach the hands forward, come down about halfway and bring the weight into the right foot. Let the left foot, let the left foot float up into Warrior 3. Almost there. Good job. Let the hands come down to the mat now, standing splits. And then bend the right knee. Take a big step back with the left foot into runner's lunge. Second time we've been here on this side. Left hand stays down now. Right hand reaches up. It's a lunge twist. You recognize this. We do it all the time. Now right hand comes down to the inside of the right foot and lift the left hand up. Head is reaching forward. Open the left side of the heart a little bit more. So lift that left shoulder up a little bit higher. That's it. Now spin the left heel to the mat and rise to warrior two. You all right? Yeah, no, margaritas before yoga practice is not a good idea. After is a whole different thing. Bend the right knee just a bit more if you can. And then straighten the right leg. Let the left hand come down to the back of the leg and reach up and over with the right hand. Press into the right foot as you reach through the right hand even a little bit more. And now bring the arms out to a T. Bend the right knee and come back to warrior two. Now extended side angle pose. Bring the elbow to the knee, reach with the left hand, and stretch out the left side body. Press into the pinky toe of the left foot. And inhale, rise back to warrior two. Straighten the right leg, left hand comes down, right hand reaches up and back. Second time here. Now bend the right knee, back to warrior two. And extended side angle pose, elbow to knee. Inhale, rise to reverse triangle pose, reaching the right hand up and back. And now the arms are going to come out to a T as we move towards triangle pose. Press into the back foot, reach the right hand forward, and drop it down. Triangle pose. See if you can open the left side of your heart up a little bit more. Maybe even looking up so that the left shoulder is stacked over the right shoulder. One more breath. Good work, everybody. Bend the right knee. Bring the hands down on either side of the right foot and come up onto the ball of the left foot. So we've come back to runner's lunge. Now step the right foot back to plank pose and take a breath. On the exhale, flow through a vinyasa into upward facing dog. And when you are ready, downward facing dog. On the inhale, lift the left leg up. And then step the left foot all the way forward so it comes between the hands. Maybe heel toe that left foot over the left a little bit to give yourself a little bit wider stance as we rise to our high crescent lunge. Find your place in the pose. Now reach the fingertips forward. Bring the weight into the left foot so that the right foot floats. Slowly bring the weight into the left foot. There you go. Beautiful warriors. You got it. Now the hands come down to the mat, standing splits. Remember here to bend the elbows a little bit. Let your shoulders drop down. Let your head come down. So you'll notice your forehead is coming closer to that left shin. Maybe the right foot reaches up a bit more. Now left knee bends. Step way back with the right foot. Runner's lunge. Left knee bent about 90 degrees here. Leave your right hand on the mat this time and reach your left hand high. Lunge twist. Maybe scoot the right hand a little bit closer to the foot so that you can find that alignment. Good. Good adjustments, everybody. Left hand down now. Inside that left foot, right hand reaches up. This is our revolved lunge twist. And then spin the back heel to the mat. Anchor into the pinky toe and rise to warrior two. All right, let's check in with our alignment in warrior two. We haven't done that in a while. Make sure the toes on that left foot are pointing straight forward and that you have that heel to toe alignment where your front foot, if we drew a line through it, is bisecting the back foot. Good job. Left knee can bend a little bit more. And then make sure you're pointing that left knee forward. That's a function of how open the hips are. So if your hips are kind of tight, it's going to be difficult to point that knee straight forward, the left knee. But everybody is looking pretty good. Now relax the upper body a little bit. Whew. Now straighten the left leg, reach up and back into reverse triangle pose. And then bend the knee back to warrior two. Extended side angle pose, elbow comes to knee, reach with the right hand, stretch it out. So the palm on that right hand is reaching, really stretching. So we have a beautiful long straight line all the way from the fingertips on that right hand to the heel, or to the pinky toe rather, on the right foot. Rise back through warrior two to reverse triangle pose. Second time here, so the left leg straightens now. Reach up and back, press into that forward foot. Now back to warrior two, and let's find extended side angle pose. Second time. Second time on this side anyway. And then rise to reverse triangle pose. Now the arms come out to a T as we move towards triangle pose. Both legs stay straight. Drop the left hand down. Triangle pose. On this side, see if you can open the right shoulder up a little bit more. So the right shoulder's reaching up towards the sky. Head's reaching straight forward. Awesome work. One more breath. Now left knee bends. Bring both hands down on either side of that left foot. Come up onto the ball of the right foot. Now step your left foot back into plank pose. Now 3 breaths in plank pose. Press your hands into the mat a little bit more so you feel like you're pressing your hands into the earth. Feel the whole body engaged in the pose and breathe. And release. Flow through Vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga into upward facing dog. And when you're ready, time for downward facing dog. Lengthen the spine again, making an effort to stretch your tailbone up and back. Let your heart melt down towards the mat, creating a nice stretch in the shoulders perhaps. Now bend the knees, and this is the part where we take a hop. Maybe hopping all the way forward, or walking, whatever it takes. We need to work on our hopping, don't we? We need to do a hopping seminar. Now bend the knees and rise. Chair pose. Bring the weight back into the heels. Now in chair pose, think about rotating your hips this way so that the outer part of the hip is rotating down, the inner part of the hip is rotating up. And what that may do for you is bring more stability to the pose. What do you think? You feel the movement? So kind of externally rotating the hips. Now straighten and exhale the hands to heart center. Take a breath. Now hinge at the hips and slowly fold forward. Eventually bring your hands all the way down to the mat and leave the right foot forward. Take a 3/4 step back with the left foot. Bend the right knee and we're going to rise to warrior one. First time we've been in warrior one in today's practice. Hands come behind, interlace the fingers behind the back. We'll open up the chest a little bit by pressing the knuckles towards the left heel, keeping the shoulders and the hips square to the front of the mat. Take a deep breath, and on an exhale, bring your right shoulder down to the right knee if you can, and then let your head drop down, maybe reach the knuckles high up towards the sky. Keep weight in that back foot. Now release the hands all the way down to the mat. Straighten the right leg, pull the right hip back, reach the left hip forward a little bit, and that will probably bring a lot of sensation into the back of that right leg. You can continue pulling the right hip back, left hip forward as much as you like. Now bend the right knee. Bring the hands behind you, interlace the fingers again, come back to humble warrior, letting the head drop down and the knee rest, the shoulder rest on the knee. Now press into the right foot, keep the right knee bent, and come up nice and slow, or slowly, if you really like adverbs, and then release the hands, reach them high. Exhale the hands to heart center. And now slowly bring weight into that right foot and step the left foot forward into a yoga squat. The heels closer together than the toes pointing away. Elbows to the inside of the knees if you can. I'll tell you that gravity is pulling down on your body in this pose, and so it's a really nice way to open up the hips without doing a huge amount of work. See if you can keep your upper body as perpendicular to the mat as you can, that is, as upright as possible. Now bring the to the mat, lift your hips, heel toe the feet back so they're about hip width apart. Let your head drop down. Now reverse swan dive rising, pressing into the front of the feet as you come up. And then reach up high and the hands come to heart center. This time we're going to leave the left foot forward as we step 3/4 step back with the right foot and come to warrior one on the second side. Left knee bends, maybe bend it even a little bit more. Looks good. Now hands come behind, interlace the fingers. Remember to do it in the awkward way on this side, using your non-dominant grip, and if you can, press the skin of the palms together and then press the knuckles towards that back heel. Creates a huge stretch in the chest. Just breathe into that space. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, hinge at the hip and bring the left shoulder down towards the left knee. Once you're there, let your head drop down. Let the neck muscles completely go. Now release the hands all the way down, then straighten the left leg. Pull the left hip back, pull the right hip forward. You feel the sensation in the back of the left leg now? I hope so. I'm guessing you do. Can you pull your left hip back a little more and the right hip forward just a bit more, deepening those sensations? Good job. Now the left knee bends, the hands come back behind you, interlacing the fingers again using the non-dominant grip. See if we can bend that left knee a little bit more and just let your head drop down. We've come back into humble warrior. Now with the left knee bent, slowly rise. Press into the left foot as you come up. And then once you're all the way up, release the hands, let them float high and to heart center. And now we're going to step the right foot forward to meet the left foot. And we're going to come down to our yoga squat. Second time, with the elbows to the inside of the knees. Couple of breaths. And bring your hands behind you now and just come to a seat. Now, actually come all the way down to a reclining posture. And palms can press down. And what we're going to do is a version of a figure four, supine figure four. So bring your left ankle to your right knee. And then press the left knee towards the front of the mat. And for most people, that's going to create a big stretch in the outer part of that left hip. Anybody feeling that? So the more you press that knee towards the front of the mat, the deeper that stretch becomes. And then let it go. And bring the left foot back down and bring the right ankle to the left knee. You can flex that right foot if you like. That engages the muscles of that right knee. And then press the knee away. So using the hip flexor muscles, or the hip extensor muscles, to press that right knee away from you. And you can press into your elbows. That may help you do that a little bit. Anybody feeling that? Yeah? Okay. And then let it go. Bring the foot down. Let's come back up to a seat. Now bend the left knee, bring the sole of the left foot to the outside of the right thigh. And hug that left knee in to the crook of the right elbow and bring your left hand down behind you with the fingers pointing to the right if you can. Press that left palm down, and as you breathe in, draw your navel in, and on the exhale, just pull the navel back and to the left. Do that again, breathing in, the spine lengthens as the navel draws in, and exhale, pull the navel back and to the left. Now at the same time, remember to hug that knee into your chest. And the more you hug that knee in, the deeper the stretch you're going to feel on the outer part of that left hip. One more time, deep breath in, and exhale, and twist, and then let it go. Whew, that felt good. Felt good for me anyway. I hope you guys felt good. This time other side, so bend the right knee, sole the right foot to the outside of the left thigh, and if you can, make an effort to press the whole sole of the foot down. So not just the pinky toe side, that knife edge side of the foot, the whole sole, so you're pressing into the big toe. Hug the knee in with the crook of the left arm, right hand down behind you, pointing to the left. Draw a deep breath in, and exhale, and pull the navel back and to the right. Hug the knee in at the same time. Do that again. Deep breath in. Exhale and twist. And one. Exhale. Now bend the knees. Bring the hands to the back of the knees and lift the heels up. This is supported half boat pose. We've done this before. We've done this lots of times. Take a breath, and then straighten the legs. Point the toes, spine stays long. Let the knees bend. And straighten, and bend. And straighten. Release the hands, reach them forward. Hands back to knees. Let the knees bend. Straighten. Release the hands, reach them forward. Take a breath. You guys are so strong. Hands to the knees. Keep the legs straight. And bend. One more time through. Straighten. Reach the hands forward. And hands to heart center. Inhale, reach back up. And hands to knees, and bend the knees. Hug the knees into your chest. And then roll all the way down to your back. Once you're on your back, reach your heels up to the sky and the legs up the wall pose. And then bend the knees, and let's find happy baby pose. Bring the hands to the pinky toe side of the feet in happy baby pose. See if you can pull your tailbone down. I've been emphasizing that lately. So otherwise, the tendency is to round the lower back a lot. So I'm inviting you to flatten that out just a bit, as much as you can, by pulling the tailbone down. Also, we'll stretch out the legs, the hamstrings, and the glutes. Release the hands from the feet now. Reach the heels to the sky, back to legs up the wall pose. Bring your hands down by your side. Now point the toes on both feet. Now bring the feet apart from one another. Maybe a 90-degree angle between the thighs if you can. Now bring your arms out to a T with the palms facing down to ground. Keep the legs apart and bring the left foot down to the mat if you can. And then inhale, left leg comes up and right leg comes down. All right, this is a hard one to describe. I can tell that by the fact that nobody's doing what I'm saying. Yeah, so everybody keep the legs in a V. Here's what I'm planning on doing. Bringing the left foot down, right foot reaches up, and then a little bit on the transverse abdominals. And see if you can do it 3 times on each side. That's good. One more time. Everybody's doing great. I need to find a better way to describe how to do that, I think. And then when you're ready, back to legs up the wall pose. Once you're there, yeah, that's sort of windshield wipering. bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Walk your feet back as close as you can to your glutes. Some of you may be able to get a hold of your ankles. If you can, that's okay. And in this pose, this is bridge pose, we're just going to press into the feet and lift the hips, coming to bridge pose. Draw the shoulder blades together on the back, tucking one shoulder under and then the other. And find 3 more breaths in this pose. And now 2 more. And 1 more. As deep a breath as you've taken during the whole practice. On the exhale, release the tailbone to the mat. Pick your feet up off the mat as you hug your knees into your chest. If you like, bring your forehead towards your knees if that feels good, rounding the spine. And then release the head. Bring the arms back out to a T. Keep the knees over the hips. Let your knees float to the left and land. We're going to do 1 more twist, 1 more spinal twist. Your gaze will move to the right. So you're looking off to the right through closed eyes if you want. Let the knees float back to center now. And then over to the other side, knees to the right, gaze moves to the left. Let your breath deepen a little bit. And the knees float back to center. You hug the knees in 1 more time. Chin can come to the chest if you like. And then rock yourself gently into a seat. And once you're seated, bring your hands to heart center. The evening air. Keep breathing in as long as you can do it without straining. And then exhale about the same length. So just let the breath dribble out. This time a forceful exhale with the mouth open. Here, I offer you, as I always do,